Thank you for joining me on the How platform. This is the How platform, and I want to say special welcome to our new subscriber. We're just getting started, so you're welcome to the table. And if you're just joining the video, I want you to hit the subscribe button because that is how you get an alert whenever we post a new video. So in this video, I just want to share with you the importance of courage. And we're still going back to that Genesis 1. So the last time we talked about clarity, and we said clarity is the interaction of light and truth. That clarity is the ability to see things clearly, and clarity is when your eyes is full of light and your ears are full of truth. We're still going to delve deeper into the importance of clarity, but this morning I wanted to share a story with you, and that story is coming from Genesis 1:26, and it's about the importance of courage. Courage. Where does courage come from, or how does courage come? And there's a lot of lesson to learn about courage from God. So in the beginning, God created all the beautiful things that we see, said, let there be light. He said, let there be the sky, let there be separation between the land and the sea. And then every day, when God finished the creation, he looked at what he has done and he said, this is good. God appreciated himself. Everything that he created, God said, this is good. And in that Genesis 1:26, when God wanted to create human, he said, let us come and create human who will look like us and rule over all the things that we have created. You know, this lesson, or that very verse highlights some important lesson about courage. Because without courage, you are not going to be able to step out. Without courage, you are not going to be able to step in. Courage is important, because when you don't have courage in yourself, you don't even have courage in the ability of others, or even faith in the ability of your God. So before I go into the lesson about courage, let me quickly share a story around when I set up the Facebook page. So like I said in other videos, and you could check them out, when I decided to share our platform materials with a broader audience, I thought it would be better to have a page for it. So I decided, okay, let's set up a page for our platform on Facebook. And then after I set up the page, I thought to myself, how do I get people to know about this page? And then somebody said, you're going to follow yourself. I said, why will I be following myself? Wouldn't that be, I'm the one that is setting up the page, and then I'm following myself. And then this thought came to my mind, that when Moses, when he stretched forth the stick in his hand, and then the Red Sea parted, who do you think stepped into the Red Sea first? You think the Israelites? No way. After Moses parted the Red Sea, he's going to be the one to step in first. When David faced Goliath, who do you think charged first? David. He didn't wait for Goliath to come to him. He went straight. He went straight. And God said, when I wanted to make human, who did I rely on? In the book of Job, God was talking about how he himself depend on himself. And he was asking Job, were you there? Were you there when I set the boundary for the sea? Were you there when I told the sun where to be in the morning? Were you there when I told the moon where to stay? Our God is a confident God, and our God is courageous. He said, let us. Because courage comes from the inside. You have to believe in yourself before somebody else believes in you. You have to invest in yourself before somebody else invests in you. You have to gather yourself. You have to gather yourself together. You have to pull yourself together before somebody else motivates you. You have to encourage yourself before somebody brings you courage. You have to invest in yourself before somebody think of putting money on your investment. You have to value yourself before somebody thinks you're important. You have to pump yourself up. You have to give yourself and believe that you can do what you have determined or what you have planned to do. And in that Genesis 1:26, we saw God. Remember, the Our platform is about in the beginning, God, you, and purpose. The last time we talked about clarity, and today we are focusing on courage. Courage is finding the strength to do something new. Courage is not the absence of fear. You're going to be afraid of whatever, because when you're not afraid, that means whatever you're doing is not big. But when you want to go big, fear is going to go big on you. I'm telling you, you're going to be scared. So when I tried to set up this Facebook page, back to the story I was trying to tell, I told myself, okay, now I'm following myself. Just like Moses stepped out into the Red Sea, just like David decided to face Goliath, just like God said, let us. God himself said, let us. At that point, he called himself horse. In the beginning, we didn't hear about horse until when God wanted to make the most important creation, human. When you want to make something big, you're going to be scared. And that is normal. But finding courage comes from one, remembering the past victory. We see that every time that God created all the things I did, he looked at it and he said, this is good. This is good. An appreciation of your past victory is a source of courage. Appreciate what God did for you yesterday. Appreciate what he did for you last year. Appreciate what he did for you when you were in college and you thought you were going to be kicked out, but you made it through. Appreciate how you stepped out and you overcame that sickness. Appreciate your past victory. Appreciate your past success. Be appreciative of your past victory. Give yourself a pat on the back and say, I'm doing well. That was all God did. He looked at what he had created and he said, this is good. Our God honors himself. The second source of courage is finding your strength from within. An appreciation of your own strength and capability. Until you appreciate your own strength and capability, nobody else is going to put money on that. You have to appreciate your own strength and capability, because it is from appreciating your own self and capability that you're going to be able to have faith in what God can do through you. Philippians 4:13 says, I can do all things through God that strengthens me. There's going to be a strength within you. Courage comes from stepping in to step out. You have to step inward. You have to pull yourself together. You have to gather yourself together. First, by appreciating your past victory, and secondly, by knowing your own capability, knowing your own strength, knowing your capacity, knowing your own ability, what you can do through God that strengthens you. When David faced Goliath in that 1 Samuel 17, David first remembered how the wolf came and he tore it apart. How the lion came and he tore it apart. And he said, you Goliath, you're nothing. Because now David quickly changed the narrative. He said, because you have not come against me, but you have come against the God of Israel. The God of Israel. He changed the narrative of the battle. He pitched Goliath straight against God of Israel, his current ability. So courage is very, very important. Without courage, you are not going to be able to step out. But courage requires stepping in before you step out. Before you step in to start talking about that idea, step in, sit down, think about it, think thoroughly about it, and then find a way to define all the needed skills and the needed strength that you need to pursue it, and pursue it vigorously. So that is my lesson on courage. from Genesis 1:26. God appreciates himself, and when God wanted to create human, he said, come, let us make. Because you can do bad all by yourself, but you need us to do something big. Stop front running your life like it's only your own. Courage comes from relying on the ability of others. There is something that humans are not getting in these days. I don't know, maybe it's because of COVID. We ignore the intelligence and the ability of others. All this mentality of, oh, it is me, it is me. There is interdependence in our destiny. Our destiny is dependent on others. Our timing is dependent on others. Courage comes when you depend also on the ability of others. But first, you depend on your own ability and what you can do through God that strengthens you. Remember, it is in sequence. You have to first of all step into yourself, find your own courage, and then step out to find the courage and the intelligence and the wisdom and the strength that comes from others. That is my lesson on courage. Thank you for joining me on the Our Platform. This is the Our Platform.